What's going on, guys? We're back again. Welcome to Timberwolves Today, where we break down Timberwolves news adjacent. I'm Tyrus. If you're new here, welcome to the show. Um, Guys, we're so close to the season, which means we can be done speculating and we can start talking about some actual games. While we wait for that time to come around, we've got the AA2s coming out. That's tough to complain about. They look, excuse me, they look really good. I don't love the first colorway. The first colorway last year didn't impress me either. It's honestly why I didn't buy a pair initially, but I ended up getting the gray AE ones, which I like just because they're kind of neutral and I can wear them with anything and they're not pink or peach or coral or white, blue, and red or metallic. Like they Ant had a lot of weird colorways. Um, so coming out with one that is similar to the AE1 is an interesting choice. I'm shocked marketing wise that they would, return to the same colorways. While they kind of do that in all the shoe lines, like KD is always going to have Aunt Pearl, or Aunt Pearl, however you want to say it. Um, but to go right back to that same colorway and them look pretty similar, um, I'm not a huge fan. And we'll see how the shoe does. I think it's too round. Like the old one was so like just like looked like a shoe. This one just looks like it's unfinished. It looks blocky. It looks like a Simpsons shoe, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think they're cool. I'm not gonna get a pair. I already have a pair of Ants shoes. I didn't even buy those new. I didn't. I hit up Poshmark. So let me know if you guys are buying the shoe on release day, which is October 4th. I forgot to mention that. That's sneaking up. I can't believe that they've waited this long. The people who order those aren't even going to get them in time for the season start. That's for sure. Also, they're going to sell out instantly. Hopefully, for Ant's sake. I hope they continue to give him a shoe. There's a lot of guys out there who have a shoe right now or had a shoe. Don't totally get it. Scoot Henderson, why did that guy have a shoe? Much as I like him as a player, um, not deserving of a shoe. I think that is a bigger issue. Ant is definitely one of those guys that deserves a shoe, and why wouldn't he? He's a top 10 player in the league. Yeah, I said it. Agree with me or not, Ant is a top 10 player in the league. Easily. Absolutely easily. It just makes sense. Um, but, anyways, the AE2, congrats to Ant on your second shoe. The marketing surrounding his stuff is always awesome, so I'm always excited to see what they're going to do next with Ant. He's awesome, shoe's awesome, team's going to be awesome. Let's get to it because I am ready for the NBA season. I am so ready for even a preseason NBA game because that means we get to watch some sort of the actual team without the actual, summer league games kind of stink. At the end of the day, you don't really get much. You might see a couple of the rookies or second year guys that you like. While our team was fun this year with TSJ, Clark, and Rob out there with Baron J and Rocco, like that's at the end of the day, whatever. Season can't come soon enough. I'm excited. We're about a month ish away from the season, which is crazy. I think I said a few days ago that it was 50 days away. That ain't true. That ain't true at all. Don't know what I was thinking. We're about 30 days away. So let's let's count them down. Let's count them down. Tomorrow I'll get an actual clock going and let you guys know exactly how many days, minutes, and seconds until the Timberwolves are back. But speaking of things that are back, guys, the black tree jerseys are officially back. I was not expecting them to just randomly drop a KD, meme today. He's just peering over it on Instagram, so it's about right here up, and it's just KD just mean mugging in a black trees jersey. And then Timberwolves said something like, "Can't surprise." Let's see exactly what they said because it was their socials are chippy, guys. They're good. They're very good. Here it is. All right, just cuz, with just a little picture of KD. How can you go wrong with the black trees? You can't. The black tree jerseys are incredible. One of the best NBA jerseys of all time, without a doubt in my mind. It's up there with the Prince jerseys. Those are just as cool. I I I really can't say enough good things about the black tree jerseys. I think they're incredible. I think they're great. I can't wait to see Ant actually play in them. Nas Reed, Julius Randle's gonna look like a dog in these things. Like he's gonna look incredible in the black tree jerseys. He's gonna look mean. That being said, Rudy is going to look goofy. He's going to look goofy as all get out in these jerseys. That's just, I think Rudy just looks goofy in general. Um, Black trees aren't going to be a good look for him. Who else on the Timberwolves will look good in these? We're going to go in order. We're going in order. Ant number 1, Randall 2, J Mac 3. We'll go Nas 4, Conley 5, TSJ 6, Dante 7. DiVincenzo might look cool in the back of these, kind of like a Wally Zerbiak. Um, Rob, Baron J, then Rudy, and we'll kind of just stop there. Highland might look cool in them too. Highland might look really cool. I have to move him into the top 5 there. Yeah. Johnny Juzang, that's not going to look cool. That's not going to look cool at all. Joe Ingles, Joe Ingles is going to look incredible in these two. What was I thinking? Um, but no, those are they're going to look great. They're going to look great, and I'm excited. But guys, I was doing some thinking. I thought of 2 players on these next 2 on these next 2 topics here. I thought of 2 guys who are going to look incredible in the Timberwolves jerseys if they were to play for them ever. 2 trades I think we should make if we wanted to sell the most amount of trees jerseys, and if we wanted to make them, well, not the most amount, because obviously if you want to do that, you trade for LeBron or someone who's going to sell a ton of jerseys. But these are 2 guys who I think are gettable that will look unstoppable in a Black Trees jersey. Or at least it'd be like, yeah, if he played 82 games in those, I think he might average 30 points a game and be an all-star and all that good stuff and maybe win a championship. First player, it's Josh Hart. It's always been Josh Hart in the trees. Absolutely. Like, the guy, I'll be honest, the blue and orange on him on the Knicks, great look for him. If he played in the black and green tree jerseys, oh my goodness. We're talking triple doubles every game, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 30 points type of guy. Like when when uh when D Rose dropped 50 points in the Black Trees jersey, that set a precedent of what the new Black Trees jersey stood for, and no one surpassed that, and we haven't worn them since. So we're due for another Derrick Rose legacy game, someone like that. Who's it going to be this time? I don't know. What? Ooh, I would take. What if Rudy just went for like 60? I would change my entire attitude on him in the Black Trees jerseys or jerseys in general. That might be incredible. Josh Hart, though, I think we could trade for Josh Hart. It would just depend on if the Knicks are willing to let him go. It really depends on how much they want shooting on the team versus someone like Josh Hart. Because we could trade them. We could swap them Dante back and a couple of the other bench guys uh, for Josh Hart, who's only making 19 million a year. And I think it could make a lot of sense for both teams in the sense that we get a guy who's going to play hard off the bench or maybe even start for us in some cases. You could start him. Ant could play point guard, then you slide Jaden up, or you play Josh Hart at the 2, and vice versa, Jaden at the 3 or 2. Um, Josh Hart would be an incredible Timberwolves player. He's kind of got the attitude that I like that we have right now, which is just go out and get yours, and that's how Josh Hart has been. Dude, I can't say Josh Hart. Josh Hart has been playing like that since he's entered the league. Now he's had some come ups in the most recent years where he's become a little more less expendable as compared to the early parts of his career. But I like the guy. I might have to get a Josh Hart jersey if we trade for him. No, I will get a Josh Hart jersey when we trade for him. Um, but Josh Hart, I think, would be an incredible player to see in the Black Trees at some point. The next guy, Grady Dick. Grady Dick has to play in the Black Trees jerseys. I mentioned LeBron, if that's someone we wanted to trade for and sell a ton of jerseys. There's op- I'm, there's option 2 for you. Grady Dick. Grady Dick is option 2. So easy. If you want to sell the most amount of jerseys, just put Dick on the back of a jersey. Pause. But no, I think Grady Dick actually could be a great option for this team. He's on a rookie deal still for the next 2 years, where he's only making 4.9 million. The Raptors are kind of in no man's land. We could swap them some shooting because they might end up lacking that here. We got to see how well RJ. You got to see how RJ and Ingram and those guys and Scotty Barnes, how those guys are gonna mesh. I think it could be a very weird team on paper. It's a lot of guys who are like, hey, what's he doing? That I feel like that's the entire Raptors roster. So if we swapped him Dante and picked up, Grady Dick and Ochai or Jacoby Walter or even like Jamal Shed, and we shed a little bit of our contract and let them take on a little bit more, that could be a great option. We know we're going to probably go younger than older at this point. The window is wide open for us still, um, but Grady Dix was in a shooting slump last year. Seems like he might kind of be on the oust on the roster there in Toronto. So let's go get him. The Black Trees jersey on him, he would look like Wally Zerbiak if he was blonde. Yeah, that's. I guess Christian Leitner might be a closer example then, or yeah, probably Christian Leitner. I can't think of anyone else who was blonde. But no, that's my thought on the Black Trees and two trades. I think that would be awesome for us if we made them this year. If we wanted to sell a ton of jerseys, makes a lot of sense. Let's go get these two guys. I can't point to the right side today, but let's go get these two guys and let's make a season count for something. I also think they would also just be great additions to the team. Josh Hart and his rebounding and defending ability, and Grady Dick in his shooting. I think he'd be able to come out of the slump that he was in there in Toronto. Makes a lot of sense. Let's make it happen. That's all I've got for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.